Hello Mila, hello Jack. Hello everybody else who's watching, and welcome to Storytime with Grandad. Today's book is from Pingu, and it is Pingu and the Kite. The wind was blowing hard at the South Pole, so Pingu and Pinga decided to fly their kite. "Isn't it pretty?" said Pingu, as the kite swooped gracefully. "Make it fly higher," said Pinga. Pingu ran backwards and let out some string so that the kite would fly high up into the air. Unfortunately, just as a big gust of wind came along, he tripped up and fell over. "Oh no!" cried Pingu. "The kite!" The kite hovered for a second and then came crashing down and fell right on top of the igloo. "However am I going to get the kite down?" asked Pingu worriedly. "Perhaps if you pull the string it will slide down," suggested Pinga. Pingu pulled on the string, but the kite still wouldn't come down. "Pull harder," said Pinga. Pingu pulled so hard that the string fell off, but the kite was still stuck on top of the igloo. Pingu glared at Pinga. "Now what am I going to do?" he said crossly. "We could go and ask Mum and Dad to help us," said Pinga. "They might be able to get the kite down for us." "You go and ask them," said Pingu. Pinga went inside to fetch help. "Mum, the kite's stuck on top of the igloo and we can't reach it. Can you get it down for us, please?" "I'm busy reading the newspaper," said Mum. "Go and ask Dad if he can help you." Pinga went over to Dad. "Can you get the kite off the roof for us, please?" she asked. "I'm busy ironing," said Dad. "You'll have to wait until I've finished." Pinga went outside to tell Pingu that they would have to wait for their kite. Just as she came out of the door, Pingu threw a large snowball to try and knock the kite off the roof. It missed the kite and landed right on Pinga's head and knocked her over. "Ow!" cried Pinga. "It's cold!" "Ow!" Pingu came rushing over straight away. "I'm sorry," he said, wiping the snow off his sister's head. "I was trying to hit the kite." "That's all right," said Pinga. "Mum and Dad are too busy to help us, so you better try again." Pingu gathered up enough snow to make a really big snowball and threw it as hard as he could at the kite. The kite came slithering down off the roof and landed with a loud crunch on the ground. The two little penguins ran over to see what had happened to their kite. It was lying in pieces on the snow. "Oh dear," said Pingu. "Mum and Dad will have to help us now. We can't possibly fix it on our own." Pingu went inside to tell Mum and Dad what had happened. "Mum, please will you come and help us mend our kite? It's broken." "No," said Mum. "I want to read the paper. Wait until I've finished." Pingu didn't want to wait, so he went over to ask Dad to help him. "Dad, come and help us fix the kite," he said. "You'll have to wait until I've finished this ironing," said Dad. "I've got a lot to do." "Thanks for nothing," said Pingu rudely, and he stormed out. "Don't talk to your parents like that," shouted Dad, but Pingu had already slammed the door. "They're too busy to help us," said Pingu. "What shall we do now?" "Let's go and ask Grandpa," said Pinga. "He's never too busy." "What a good idea," said Pingu, and he got out his sledge. "Jump on," he said, and they set off for Grandpa's house. It was very quiet as they sledged through the village. Everyone was inside having lunch. They went past the post office, but the postmaster wasn't there and the shutters were closed. Pingu and Pinga carried on past all the houses. Even the woman at the fish stall was inside eating lunch. She'd hung a little notice on her door saying, "Back soon." When Pingu and Pinga arrived at Grandpa's house, it seemed very quiet there too. "What if he's not in?" said Pinga. "Of course he'll be in," said Pingu. "Grandpa, we've come to see you," he shouted. The door opened, and out came Grandpa. "Hello," said Grandpa. "What a lovely surprise. I didn't know you were coming." "Can you help us make a new kite?" said Pingu. "Please," added Pinga. "Our old one broke." "Of course," said Grandpa. "Let's go into the tool shed." Soon all three penguins were hard at work. Grandpa found some wood, and Pingu held it while he sawed it into the right size. Pingu took the pieces of wood and placed them in a cross. "Now, nail the pieces together very carefully," said Grandpa. "Make sure your flippers are out of the way." Pinga was painting the material that Grandpa had given to her to make the kite with. She painted a lovely smiley face on it. "That's right," said Grandpa. "That'll look wonderful flying in the sky." Meanwhile, Mum and Dad were getting very worried. "Where can Pingu and Pinga be?" said Dad. "It's nearly 5 o'clock," said Mum. "They've been gone since lunchtime." Mum and Dad went outside to look for the two little penguins. "Pingu, Pinga," they shouted. There was no reply. "We'd better go and look for them," said Mum. "I'll get the post truck out," said Dad. The two penguins set off in the truck, looking carefully about them to see if they could see any signs of Pingu or Pinga. They stopped outside the post office to see if the postmaster had seen Pingu and Pinga anywhere. "No, I'm afraid I haven't," he said. "We'd better carry on looking," said Dad, and they drove on. They came to the fish stall, and they asked the fishmonger if she had seen Pingu and Pinga. "I haven't seen them at all," she said. "I'll tell them that you're looking for them if I do see them." "Thank you," said Mum, and they carried on. They were beginning to get very worried indeed. Eventually they came to Grandpa's house. "I hope they're here." "Oh, look," said Dad. From behind Grandpa's house appeared a large smiley face. "They've made a new kite," said Mum. "We should have helped them." Mum and Dad went through into Grandpa's backyard. There were Pingu, Pinga and Grandpa flying the new kite. "There you are," said Mum. "We were worried about you." "I'm sorry we didn't help you mend your kite," said Dad. "That's all right," said Pingu. "We asked Grandpa instead." Mum and Dad went over to Grandpa. "Thank you for helping them," they said. "It was kind of you." "I've enjoyed every minute," said Grandpa. "I haven't made a kite in a very long time." When it was time to go, they all waved goodbye to Grandpa. "Thank you for helping us," cried Pingu and Pinga. "Don't break the kite this time," said Grandpa. "I won't," laughed Pingu, and flew it all the way home. The end. Goodbye, Mila. Goodbye, Jack. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.